Go, go. Loser Ranger is back, and I'm thrilled to say that Season 2, Episode 1, which premiered on April 13th, 2025, hits the ground running with a ferocity that left me glued to my screen. This anime, a dark satire of the Super Sentai genre, has always been a wild ride, flipping the script by making the villains our protagonists and exposing the so-called heroes as corrupt. After a first season that balanced biting commentary with chaotic action, I was eager to see how the story would evolve, and this premiere didn't disappoint. It's a bold, bloody, and brilliantly executed episode that sets up an electrifying season. Let's dive into the many facets of this episode. Its narrative depth, character dynamics, visual flair, thematic resonance, and a few gripes I have, because there's so much to unpack, and I'm bursting to share why this episode had me on the edge of my seat. I really appreciate how the episode, titled, Look, the Dragon Keepers, picks up after the seismic shifts of Season 1's finale. Fighter D, our shape-shifting anti-hero, is deeper in his undercover mission, now embedded in the Green Battalion after passing the Ranger exam. The narrative wastes no time establishing a new status quo. The Dragon Keepers are reeling from the loss of the Blue Keeper, and a mysterious figure, Wallapon, is broadcasting their dirty secrets to the world. I love how the episode balances immediate action with long-term intrigue. The opening scene, where Wallapon hijacks the airwaves, is a gut punch, setting a rebellious tone that had me cheering for the underdog Dusters. The Sunday Showdown, a stage spectacle where the Keepers defeat the Dusters, goes horribly off-script when Red Keeper snaps, brutally attacking a Duster in public. This moment shocked me, not because of the violence, but because it exposed Red's unhinged nature so brazenly. I think the writers nailed the pacing here, weaving flashbacks, present-day chaos, and hints of future conflicts seamlessly. However, I'm a bit skeptical about how quickly Wallapon's reveal was introduced. It feels like a massive plot point that might have been more impactful with a slower build. Still, I anticipate this mystery will unravel deliciously, keeping me hooked. Key characters are the heart of this episode, and I'm obsessed with how they're evolving. Fighter D, posing as Hibiki Sakurama, remains a fascinating protagonist. His mix of cunning and impulsiveness makes him endlessly watchable. I love how he's not a flawless hero but a gritty survivor with a chip on his shoulder. His interactions with Canon Hijui, the sleepy yet sharp Green Battalion member, are a highlight. I really appreciate the subtle chemistry here. It's not romantic but a wary alliance that promises tension. Red Keeper, though, steals the show in a terrifying way. I don't think I've ever despised a character more. He's a narcissistic bully who kills a subordinate over a spilled drink. His public meltdown had me gasping, and I'm against how the show almost glorifies his rage in its spectacle, though I suspect it's intentional to make us hate him. The introduction of Chidori, the Green Keeper, feels a bit rushed. I didn't like how his presence was overshadowed by the action, but I'm intrigued by hints of his secretive nature. I also anticipate more from Angel Yasukubo, who's underutilized here but has potential to shake things up. The animation is crisp, with a moody color palette that enhances the grim tone. The fight scenes, especially Red's brutal beatdown, are kinetic and visceral. I could feel every punch. I really appreciate the stylistic choices, like the grainy broadcast filter during Wallapon's speech, which adds a rebellious, almost dystopian vibe. The blend of 2D and 3D animation is seamless, particularly in the Zord-like mecha tease, which had me geeking out. The opening theme, Maji de Sekai Kacho 5 Bio Mei by Orange Range, is an absolute banger. Its frenetic energy perfectly matches the show's chaos, though I personally don't understand why they didn't go darker to match the tone. The ending, Seiji by Fukuro Note, is softer but haunting, with an 8-bit Duster dance that's adorably ironic. I didn't like how the puppet-style previews feel out of place, though. They're quirky but clash with the episode's intensity. Overall, the audiovisual package is a knockout, making every moment pop. Thematically, this episode doubles down on its critique of heroism, and I'm here for it. I love how it exposes the Dragon Keepers as a corrupt, performative institution. Red's violence isn't just personal. It's systemic, propped up by a society that worships them. The episode's tagline, expose that madness feels like a rallying cry, and Wallapan's broadcast is a brilliant metaphor for truth-breaking propaganda. I'm against the subtle implication that the public is complicit in this farce. It feels a tad judgmental, but it's thought-provoking. Fighter D's struggle, wanting to dismantle the Keepers while navigating their world, adds a layer of existential weight. I also anticipate the show exploring the Duster's immortality more, as it raises questions about freedom and exploitation. My only gripe is that the satire occasionally leans too heavily on shock value, like Red's civilian endangering blast, which felt gratuitous. Still, the themes are rich and resonate deeply that I think the episode's pacing is near perfect, cramming a ton into 24 minutes without feeling rushed. The structure, starting with Wallapan's bombshell, cutting to the chaotic showdown, then settling into D's Green Battalion intro, keeps you hooked. I really appreciate how it balances action, character moments, and world building. However, I didn't like how some transitions, like the sudden cut to Hibiki's date with his sister Sesera, felt jarring. I personally don't understand why they included that scene. It's tonally odd and skirts uncomfortably close to incest vibes, which I'm firmly against. I anticipate this being a one-off, but it left a sour taste. The episode's ambition is its strength and weakness. It sets up so many threads, Wallapan, Red's instability, Chidori's mystery, that I worry it might overreach. Still, I'm confident in director Keiichi Sato's track record, Tiger and Bunny vibes. Anyone? To tie it all together. Go. Loser Ranger. Season 2, Episode 1 is a triumphant return that had me hooked from start to finish. I love its fearless satire, complex characters, and stunning visuals, even if a few missteps, like the odd sibling scene or heavy-handed shock value, gave me pause. I think this episode sets up a season that could surpass the first, especially with mysteries like Wallapan and Chidori looming. I'm against some of the pacing hiccups, but they're minor in the grand scheme. I really appreciate how the show challenges the Super Sentai formula while delivering a story that's both thrilling and thought-provoking. If you're a fan of dark twists, morally gray heroes, or just damn good anime, this is a must-watch. I'm already counting down to episode 2, and I anticipate this season will keep me on the edge of my seat. What did you think of Red's meltdown or Wallapan's bold move? Let's talk about it.